Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for coming to watch this video. My name is Alejandra, and this is Wildflowers Within on YouTube. Welcome. If you are new to the channel, I'm so happy to have you here. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back. We're going to be talking about the new moon in Cancer, and I've got my Cancerian shirt on with lovely shells, and celebrating the Divine Mother, celebrating lunar wisdom, and just learning how to live a deeper, more intentional devotional life. And I think this is a great new moon to begin. So if you're just starting to work out with the new moon, perfect timing. It's like amazing. All right, before we get into it, I would like to remind people if you would subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. You can share it with a friend. And if you just want a laugh, then stick around because at the very end, there will be a hilarious comedy skit performed by this really cool actress. All right, so what do I want to speak about first with the Temple of Cancer? I want to say, I think here's what I'd like to say before we start. This is the last new moon that's considered a regular new moon. A month from now, the new moon we're going to be experiencing will be in eclipse season. It will be a solar eclipse. So get ready because in a month from now, it's just going to be out of control, crazy energies, which is cool, right? The universe is like divinely timed and orchestrated to bring it to us. But I think it's really nice that there's this Cancerian moment of a new moon happening where we're allowed to go within. So Cancer is the temple of our Divine Mother. It is a cardinal sign. It is an initiation sign of sorts. And that has to do with the changing of the seasons of light. You know, as soon as the summer solstice hits in the Northern Hemisphere, Cancer season begins. And I think it is beautiful and it's so poetic that if you think about the path of travel of the sun, you know, coming out of the dark half of the year all the way up to the height of the heights, who does the sun meet when he reaches those pearly gates? The Divine Mother. Of course, he does. Okay, like all the children. It's like the mother's like, my children, come. How was your journey? Was it tumultuous and lovely? That's probably not how the Divine Mother talks, but that's how I'm talking. I don't know. That was like a sort of a mix between like Divine Mother and like a playful Venus, and I don't even know what's going on with these accents, but I like them. So the mother is waiting at the top. And I love it so much because now it's a rebirthing moment. The season of light is changing. We are now leaving the brightest days of the year. The sun's still out, you know, we're still pretty much all in summer season up here in the Northern Hemisphere. And we're going to be going down to the equinox and then the descent back down into the darkness, right? The cycle is beginning again. And for a Cancer new moon, I was looking at the aspects, and here's what we've got. You know what? I'll actually share with you just so you can see a visual. Why not? All right, so here we have it on the screen. This is the Cancer new moon. You've got the sun and the moon down here at 21 degrees Cancer. They're conjoined by Mercury retrograde. So this is the energy that is infusing itself into this new moon. And you can also see an aspect taking place between Neptune and Jupiter that I wanted to highlight. Neptune at 4 degrees retrograde in Aries, and Jupiter at 3 degrees in just it's newly entered in the house of Leo. So what does all of this mean? With with Neptune and Aries, and I've talked about this before on the channel, it's this new earth, new prayer, new spiritual warrior energy that is affecting your life in some way, shape, or form. If you are watching this channel, you are definitely here as part of the soul tribe and the soul family that is here to bring and break open heaven on earth. It is here to just align with the truth of who we are. And so a trine from taking place right now from Aries to Leo speaks to this place inside of you that knows something fresh and something new is like ready to start. And retrograde with Neptune, you're going back in, right? You're focused in now, checking what have I not completed, what have I not looked into, what is now awakening possibly within me that really is calling me in this sense of urgency to come forward. The trine with Jupiter in Leo, this is the heart chakra. This is the heart space. This next, year and a half that we've got eclipses taking place on the Leo Aquarius axis, so many hearts are going to be awakening to a deeper purpose and a deeper calling. And I think this trine is just such beautiful energy to allow doors and possibilities to just open for you. So you want to look at where Aries and Leo, what are they speaking to? What do you feel like is opening? You didn't even know like it was possible. It reminds me of a joke, like the nature of a trine. Trines are ruled by Jupiter. They're considered benevolent. They're considered, energy can flow well. And when I was thinking of this, it reminded me of this comedian I once heard talking about cauliflower. So just bear with me for a second. This was the joke, okay? That I'm hoping I can remember it from memory. Okay. He says, he's up on the mic and he's like, yo, cauliflower is having a moment, y'all. Cauliflower is having a moment. Cauliflower was like, resigned and accepted, like, I'm crudité. I'm crudité. I'm okay with being crudité. And all of a sudden, he picks up the phone, his agent's on the line, and he's like, dude, you just booked pizza. You just booked pizza. And Cauliflower's like, and his agent goes, and I got rice on the other line, and tortillas are heavily interested. And I love thinking about that. That is the nature of a trine. Now, it doesn't mean the cauliflower is going to book all those jobs, although he might, or she might. I don't even know what gender cauliflower is. But that is the nature of a trine. All of a sudden, it's like doors of expansion and opportunity open. And, it is going to be a moment of discernment too. Like, because if so many things are coming up, where is it? Where do I intentionally direct and give my energy to? So, with that being said, there is a new moon prayer and seed that wishes to be planted in the Temple of Cancer right now. And I think the best question I can give you when I really deeply sat with it, it's so super simple that for me it makes a lot of sense. And with a Cancerian new moon seed, especially with all these opportunities coming online at this time, the question could be, what do I need to remember? What do I need to remember? Cancer is the house and the temple of memory. The moon has no light of its own. Anytime you see the moon, it's because she's reflecting herself off the memory of something else, right? So, with that being said, what memories, literal memories, are coming into your field right now? And why are they coming in? Are they guidance or direction of some sort to help you as you enter this new era and new phase of your life? I'll give you an example. Cancer is my second house. It's the money house, the house of resources, everything that the native can accumulate, as either a skill or a resource to support them throughout their life. And it right now, I'm understanding that in terms of like my speaking career or like making money, there are certain products and like a speaker's reel that need to be made or a keynote talk, that's going to be the talk that is a resource for me to be able to pitch to, get paid. And as I'm creating this keynote talk, I just started a class that's here to support me and help me write one. I have all these memories coming up of my childhood of experiences that in of like sexuality. And I speak on the wound of sexual assault in our world. And so this keynote, it's like, what does healthy sexuality look like? And where does it go off from being that? Where does somehow it get tainted or wounded in some way? And the memories that are coming to me right now are like, I'm in kindergarten. I'm 5 years old. I'm experimenting, or like there are memories of like a sexual nature, but they're not like sexual. I'm 5. But they're here. I can feel how they're here to help me, because what I'm tapping into is these memories of innocence where it was okay, to think this or play, or, you know, because I was just a kid, and there's part of it that's just so normal. So I don't know how they're going to be infused in my talk, or even if they will be, but the fact that memories of that nature are coming online at this time, I'm paying attention because we have a new moon taking place in the house of memory. So I would play with that. I would sit with that if I were you. Do you have any strong memories, or maybe stories, old stories, inner narratives, right? Mercury conjoined in retrograde at this new moon definitely means the communication is going in. Anytime there may be confrontations taking place outside with specific individuals. And if that is the case for you, I would encourage any triggers are just a direction right now, especially for you to go in and say, okay, what is this here to teach me? What am I supposed to remember? It really is that simple. We don't need to be all rocket science about, astrology sometimes, because it can get overwhelming. That being said, ways to help with practice. I think that, Mercury going in retrograde, it already had its Cazimi moment where it sat at the heart of the sun. So it's almost like the crystallization, or like you already know what came through. It's like the big aha light bulb moment happened. And now what are you going to do with it? Right? Where is the implementation, or how are you going to put it into practice, is might be something that you're working with right now. And I will also say that the narrative of who you get to be in this world, with Aries, Neptune and Aries trining Jupiter, and a Mercury retrograde, there is a new you. There are old stories possibly connected to ancestral lineage, spiritual lineages, your family, bloodline, that are here to be rewritten in a completely new form. The only way you're going to know, according to, the energies, is the prayer in your heart and the new spiritual warrior nature that you feel is coming out of you, that is awakening at this time. So I hope that helps. There's easy practices just to help you get the energetics in your environment. Clean your home. Any place that feels either like an altar or a place of devotion, your sacred space, make sure that during this new moon, it's cleared, free of clutter. If you need to, maybe take some crystals off and polish them and set them back on your thing, or, wherever you go to, like a physical space, make sure that it's cleaned. And I would say the second practice always to do that's really good, especially for a Cancer full moon or new moon, is before you enter that space of here's what I wish to plant, you first bow to the mother, especially in the Temple of Cancer. I mean, I bow to the divine before any sort of practice of planting seeds, but this is the home of the mother. And so going in and really honoring her, knowing that the journey, we're here at the top of the season of light, we meet her again, and now we're going back down for another adventure. So getting permission, requesting permission from her is just a great step one if you want to implement it. I hope that helps. I'm keeping this short and sweet today. And I also wanted to now segue into the comedy. I am a goofball, and I get to be a goofball. I need to continue to be a goofball because one time I got this reading from this dude who's basically a wizard, and he lives in France, Paris. And he told me that if I do not express this comedy that literally lives inside of me, that my life will become the comedy. I'm done with my life being the comedy. So I am going to creatively express it. And for material, everybody's obsessed with the World Cup right now. Mexico is out, and it was a very sad day. Brazil was out on that same day. It was just a sad day for the Mexican and Brazilian people. And then Norway was playing England, and everybody was all excited, like, come on, because England took Mexico out. So, of course, like the Mexicanos wanted Norway to win. And then Norway did not win. But there was this moment. There's this guy on Norway. His name is Erling Holland. And he's already like this big football player. I didn't know who he was until the World Cup. And he's now at, I think, 60 million followers on Instagram. Kind of a big deal. So I thought it would be fun to put together a little skit of what some women might have felt when Erling left the World Cup. So, without further ado, thank you for watching. I'm super appreciative to have you here. I hope this channel supports you in your life. Feel free to leave me comments. I love reading them. And without further ado, I present to you a comedy skit on how some women in this world, I don't know who, may have felt when Erling Haaland left the World Cup.
I love you, baby. I really miss you.